Think what a great thing it is to be a part of something that is team. The team, the team, the team.
Hi, let's talk about bats. Softball bats are made out of two different kinds of material. Alloy, which many of us know as or refer to as aluminum, or composite. Let's talk about composite first. Composite are what I would refer to as a boom or bust kind of bat. They have a higher ceiling than an alloy bat for performance, but they also have a higher potential for problems, and they're more expensive. I personally wouldn't recommend investing in a composite bat until your daughter reaches high school, if ever. There's a period that you have to break them in. As I said, they're more expensive. They're sensitive to the cold. They tend to break more easily. But because they tend to perform a little better, more higher level players use composite. That said, there are a lot of really good alloy bats that will serve this age group very well. Next important factor in a bat is drop. On bats you'll see the minus sign and a number. The drop indicates the difference between the length and the weight of a bat. This bat's drop is minus 13 because it's 30 inches long and 17 ounces. A fast-pitch softball bat should range between minus 9 and minus 13, whereas a baseball or a slow-pitch softball bat will usually range between minus 3 and minus 6. So please make sure that the bat you have is a fast-pitch softball bat, that it's at least minus 9 on the drop. For this age group, I actually recommend to not go any heavier than a minus 10. I think minus 11 or 12 is usually ideal for most kids. So I would say the two most important factors in your player selecting a bat: is it light enough and short enough for them to swing accurately and with authority? If it's too long or too heavy or a combination of both, they're just not going to be able to swing it as well. I think for our age group, depending on the player's size, something between a 29 to 31 in length, and like I said, like a minus 10 to minus 13 in drop will be ideal for your player. If they don't have a bat that they currently perform really well with, if you're in the market for a new bat, I would say just make sure they take a few swings with whatever you're interested in buying. The other important factor when selecting a bat is how much is it going to sting the player's hands when they make contact? How much are those vibrations going to travel down the barrel to their hands? This particular bat that Monica uses is a great bat because it has an alloy barrel and a composite handle, so the vibrations stop right here. This is a DeMarini Bustos, is this the kind of bat. DeMarini is a brand with a really good reputation. They don't actually make very many alloy bats. You can usually tell how good a bat's maker's reputation is by how many composite bats they make and how many alloy bats they make. DeMarini, I think they only make a couple fast-pitch alloy bats, and this is one of them. Back to vibrations. Obviously, this isn't an easy thing to determine when you're purchasing a bat. You can do research online about bats, and people will often comment on, boy, this bat seems to sting my player's hands a lot. There are also companies that you can order from online. JustBats.com is one of my favorites because they have a full money-back guarantee. You can try bats for, I believe, up to a month, and if it's not working out, you can send it back for a refund. As far as my preferences on bat brands, I'm certainly not going to try to impose that on anyone. If it helps, DeMarini has a really good reputation. Like I said, they make a couple alloy bats. I also really like these Axe bats. They make a couple alloy bats. They have an unusual handle on the bottom that takes a little bit of getting used to, but they're supposed to be designed to actually maximize performance, be more comfortable, help players hold onto the bat properly. But this is a bat I bought used to play against sports, and the sweet spot and the lack of vibrations are I'm very impressed with it. I think we have all recognized the most common producer of alloy bats is Easton. Walk into a department store's sports department, you will see a lot of Easton bats. They're good quality bats. Monica has certainly owned a few Eastons. I have encountered some hand stinging problems with those. That's something obviously you can figure out for yourself. But Easton is a quality bat, and you can get good results, and they will last a long time, and they tend to be a little more affordable and a little more available. I think the primary things you want to focus on, make sure the bat is a good size for your player. Like I said, most likely between 29 and 31 inches, and most likely a drop between -10 and -13. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thanks.